Good evening, LA Pipe Smoker. Friday evening. Favorite time of the week and kind of a favorite time of the day. Home from work. Had a short day today and appreciated the extra time. I didn't sleep very well last night. For some reason, part of it was my cat woke me up about 3 o'clock. So I gave the cat some treats. Just hindsight, probably not a good idea. I'm simply, I guess, reinforcing that behavior. That sort of hellish conditioned cycle I'm getting myself into now. Thought I'd change the location for the video. I'm filming from my bedroom slash office because the light in the evening is so beautiful in here. Have a little candle that I've lit, and a lot of times I'll just come in here and smoke my pipe and think about the day that has passed and the weekend. It's going to be a busy weekend for me. I guess weekends are always fairly busy. I know some of you know that I teach, so I've got the usual papers to grade and things like that, coming to the end of a grading period. So to get this Shaggy dog story going here, I get up about 3:30 this morning, turn on the TV, and there are fires locally in our mountains or our mountainous areas. Really not mountain, more the northern end of LA County area, out by where the 5 and the 14 meet, up in the hills, the northern hills of the San Fernando Valley. Long story short, I get to school and the air is full of smoke. Actually smelled quite good, but I didn't obviously mention that. It was kind of as if God was smoking an English blend and blowing the smoke into LA. Not to make light of it, a lot of people have lost their homes. Fire is just such a horrible, destructive force when it's combined with the what are traditionally called the Santa Ana winds, which are winds coming off of the desert, coming down the mountains. The air compresses. Same thing, I guess, with the Chinooks and other compressed winds. At any rate, that was the occasion for our shortened day because of the smoke in the air. Should have just canceled school at the beginning of the day. So I got to work before light, which is pretty common. And then I found out that our computer program that processes our grades and records the assignments was not functioning, and it was down. So the grade window has been extended. Sorry about that. Oops, kicking the tripod. Um, the grading window is extended to Tuesday, so I'm going to have a kind of a free weekend, I suppose. But I'm going to probably log on tomorrow morning to see if the learning platform's back up so I can grade the papers. I have most of my students submit their work online as a way of kind of cutting down on the paper trail a bit. I don't know if that's being green or not, but it seems pretty efficient, and I'm less likely to lose a paper. And yes, teachers do lose papers from time to time. We have close to 200 students. It's not unheard of. Let's put it that way. Just kind of getting back into pipe smoking presentations like this. I think tomorrow I'm going to do a review on Jess Conowich's number 17, the Scottish mixture, the so-called Scottish tobacco. We'll talk a little bit about that tomorrow. But I thought tonight I could just ramble for a bit. I'm watching the timer. Won't be rambling more than 15 minutes, so if you want to hang out and smoke with me, love to have the company. One of the reasons I'm busy this weekend, as well as school, is I run a small parish. I'm an old Catholic priest, and most of us, to make a long story short, old Catholics split away from the Roman Catholic Church back in the 19th century in Germany. Usually, most of us have small parishes. Uh, Most of us work and tend our flock at the same time, which can be challenging. So tomorrow I have a mass at 5 o'clock, and then a dinner uh, for another local parish group, Dignity LA. It's their 50th anniversary or something. No, it's more than that. Anyway, it's an annual event, and I enjoy it. See old friends, things like that. I'm not really big on banquet seating. First of all, they cram in way too many people in a round table. I don't know if you're familiar with it. I'm sort of a big guy, and I like spreading out a little bit when I eat. And these banquet seating arrangements, put in about 12 people when they should have about six. Seems to be a universal experience. I don't know. And there'll be some speeches and things like that, but I think more than the speeches, what I really enjoy is the fellowship around the meal. I associate food with good times and family and community and things like that. So I tend to probably it's probably some kind of psychological reason why I overeat a little bit. I'm on kind of a diet now. This year I turned 60. In some ways, turning 60 is a little bit different than turning 50. Turning 60 is kind of like a commitment to becoming an old guy. Northwest pipe smoker Tom uh, is a great guy. If you haven't checked out his channel, Northwest Pipe Smoker, he's a wonderful guy, thoughtful, uh, kind of old school. I really admire him for that. much better at keeping his pipe lit than I am. I think he's much better at holding an informal conversation than I am as well. So I stop over and try to learn from the master and just kind of shooting the shit. Do I have to edit that out? The S word? I don't know. So it's okay, I guess. It's a small audience. I'm smoking a pipe I haven't smoked in quite a while. It's my Brebbia, a 9mm filter in there, and some pipe tobacco that I haven't smoked in quite some time, but I got a new supply, Dragon Blend. Thoroughly enjoying it. I'm over my cold, and so I can really smell the aroma. Dragon Blend, at least to me, to my nose, has a really heavy chocolatey kind of a smell to it. Hope it doesn't have a lot of calories, but it's a delightful blend, and it smokes. It's a really easy smoke, and it's one of the blends that I can smell in the room while I'm smoking it. And not all blends give you that privilege of being able to kind of smell the tobacco while you're smoking it. A lot of English blends do. I think English blends are better than that, better than aromatics for that reason. Aromatics are deceptive because they smell so good, yet when you light them up, you can't really smell it unless you leave the room and then come back, and then you kind of get a whiff. But while you're smoking it, at least for me, I don't get quite the enjoyment of the sweetness or the aroma, perhaps, that other people do. So this weekend's gonna be busy. You know, things to do that you can't do during the week. Maybe I'll be able to log on and grade some papers. If I can't, oh well. I guess I'll wait till Wednesday and then, or excuse me, I'll wait till Monday and then do everything on Monday to get everything in before the grades go in. Students are really, anxious about grades. I teach gifted and highly gifted students, and much smarter than I am. I'll be the first to admit that. But with all that intelligence, quite often they're very anxious, some of them. Probably know more than I do and have a good reason to be anxious. But they're anxious about their future, they're anxious about their grades, and things along those lines. So a lot of it is trying to, mollify them, try to get them to relax a little bit. It's too bad I can't smoke a pipe in school. Just pass out the pipes and get everybody to relax. It'd be a very short teaching career if you did that. And I understand. Smoking a pipe is an adult choice. It's not not something for kids. Just not. You got to manage your risks in this world, and if you're old enough and have the wherewithal to make a decision about your health like that, that's fine. But I'm coming up on 60, like I said, so I think I can safely make these choices for myself. I think you have to balance risk with pleasure, right? I'm also a pilot. I've been flying since 1989, and flying is inherently risky, especially in LA. Airspace is pretty crowded. Everybody's really on their game when they're flying in Los Angeles. And I think I read that flying as a private pilot is 11 times more risky than driving a car. And I can believe it. You have a lot less of room for error. Your training's got to be top notch, or else you get yourself into a situation you're going to die. And so that's been a passion of mine all my life. I really, really do enjoy flying. As strange and as stressful as it sounds, when I'm flying, it's you're focused. You're really focused, especially if you're flying in instrument conditions or in bad weather. Uh, there's a real joy to the technical aspects of it for me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a control freak. Probably am. You know, I think all pilots are control freaks to some extent, at least in the air. But flying's very expensive, so I don't do it as much as I used to. And I keep my flights pretty simple as I get older and I have less experience. You know, I'm not as recent, so I might fly once a month or so. And so, in doing that, you know, you got to know your limitations and fly on good days, good weather, uh, get all the risks managed. I see it's 16 minutes into my presentation. Would you give me 20? Is that okay? If not, just dump out. I'm just kind of trying new approaches to presenting. Call this the Shaggy Dog Story presenter. Shaggy Dog Story being kind of associative thinking, nothing really planned. If that's something you enjoy, then good. If it's not, you know, just dump out. But I really do like the idea of just sharing a smoke with somebody who stops by, musing on my day. Kind of excited about this new Breyer Report TV, BRTV. Looks good. It's going to be a nice place for everybody to kind of connect and with some of the live stream possibilities and all the articles. It kind of is a nice clearinghouse for pipe presenters. Uh, you know, I'm not on the official uh, pipe presenter list. I don't have enough subscribers probably or something. It's just, you know, I'm never gonna have like 1,000 subscribers probably. It's, you know, it's just you know, it is what it is. I didn't get into this to get monetized or to have a lot of people subscribing. Just you know, people like-minded like myself who might like to stop by for a smoke and a listen, perhaps. I don't know. It's true. I like to hear myself talk, so I don't think I'll ever run out of material there. Today I was making the rounds, stopped in at Matches 860. He usually does a live feed on Friday. It's so much fun to sit, listen to him talk. Trying to be more contemplative and try to be more conversational the way he is. You know, we're all different. Got the window open, so I live on a boulevard, so the traffic noise kind of comes in. Man of York. Uh, Stop by and check him out. He is giving a review of a book which is an anthology of Welsh legends and stories. Really fantastic. He himself is quite a scholar, and always, for me, I always enjoy listening to his recounting of history, and I think he's focused on the medieval kind of history of knights and castles and things like that. Ah, I'm not going to need this. Well, we're at 20 minutes, so I think I'm going to call it an evening. Hope you enjoy your weekend. I'd like to put up that Jess Conowitch review number 17 tomorrow morning sometime, not too early. One time I did this in the morning early on the balcony or on the patio in the back, right in the middle of the filming. This guy yells out the window, "Shut up! It's too early!" It was me. It was 7 a.m. and I forget that my voice carries and was bouncing off the buildings, and some poor guy that was probably trying to get some shut eye on Saturday morning was listening to me give some review on some pipe or some pipe tobacco. So I kind of yelled back, "Sorry," and then moved indoors. I felt kind of bad about that. Well, my candle is giving a nice soft tone to everything. I'll go to 25. How's that? I don't want to say goodbye yet. I just want to sit and talk a little bit. For you guys that have not done any, or gals, who have not done any pipe presenting, and on YouTube, you know, they're called so-called lurkers. I don't like that name. I like, I don't know, watchers, or I don't know. But if you ever get around to doing it, you know, I highly recommend it. The YTPC, the YouTube pipe community, is really a great bunch of guys, you know, for the most part, and just very non-judgmental. I think pipe smokers as a whole tend to be a little more deliberative. It's kind of hard to interrupt somebody if you're smoking a pipe. Believe me, my natural tendency is not to listen well, but to speak, and so smoking a pipe slows me down, as it does most people. I was talking to a friend of mine who also smokes a pipe, and I was mentioning my pipe videos, and he said, "Well, if you have problems keeping your pipe lit, maybe you shouldn't talk so damn much." I thought, me not talking? Oh my gosh. But I'm getting a little bit more comfortable having silence on my videos. You know, you feel like you have to fill up every moment. But the real experienced guys who do this, I notice, have a certain comfort when it comes to silence. And they handle that pretty well. It's part of the presentation. Silence as part of the presentation. So I'm kind of working on that. I think that's a good idea. What could be better? Great company, a pipe, and a tobacco that I'm loving. Good way to end the week, the work week at least, before I have to get started on my homilies and getting ready for the dinner on Saturday night and Sunday morning early for my 9 o'clock mass. I hope you guys have a good weekend. If you get a chance, stop by sometime Saturday or Sunday, and hopefully I'll have that video on Jess Conowitch. I think I've covered all of the blends except one. I skipped around a little bit, so I think I have one more to do after the 17, the Scottish blend. So here's wishing you all a wonderful week and a wonderful weekend if I don't see you. And if you've made it this far in the video, all I can say is thanks for hanging around and listening to my Shaggy dog story. Take care.